welcome back to the Red River Horror Podcast. It's episode number 77. I am your host, Joe Zakreski, joined by RedRiverHorror.com founder, Eddie Cayazzo. Hi, Ed. How are you today?
Hi, Joe. I'm doing great. How are you?
You know me. I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing fantastic.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
And hey, you know what? If you ever want to buy some collectibles, some hobbies, especially if you're into like wrestling and other things, you got to go to KeystoneRetro.com. Use code RedRiver for 10% off your order.
Yes, that's right. KeystoneRetro.com.
Yeah.
Yep. He's got the collectibles. He's got the wrestling gear. He's got a lot of that stuff. Actually, I want to tell you something. We're going to talk about another streaming service in just a second here, but something found on Peacock. You ready?
Yeah.
It's called WWE Evil.
Steve's got to come back.
So I actually watched the first episode of this. When have you known me to just pick up and watch something, right?
No.
Yeah, it just doesn't happen.
Especially not TV show wise.
Yeah, I just don't. It's not me. But I did. I watched the first episode, and it's all about the villains of of wrestling, I should say, because the first episode was Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Interesting.
It was really, really good.
You know, for me not being into, like, not really, like, you know, I appreciate the athleticism, everything that goes into it. But I find myself being really intrigued by a lot of the behind the scene stuff and the stories. Like, you know, I mean, the movie The Wrestler is almost like the way he has to live even after having so much success in the ring.
Yeah.
It's pretty horrifying how many guys this has happened to.
Absolutely.
So
it's there's been a lot of documentary pieces, but yeah, this show is called it's on Peacock.
Yeah.
It's called Evil, like WWE. It's from WWE, and it's like executive produced, I think, by like John Cena, Vince McMahon, one other person. But the first one was Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Second one was from an era I wasn't familiar with. It's The Miz.
He's a big name.
Okay, I can't say that I watched wrestling when The Miz was relevant. So
nah, that was like my little cousin Frankie.
Oh,
bring up The Miz,
and he's in high school now.
So yeah.
Okay, got it. So just something of note in the wrestling world. So yes, I might dig into that a little bit, and we can bring our friend Steve on, maybe talk about kind of like how we did for The Undertaker.
Well, hopefully that's so. What I was thinking, I'm like, really hope there's an episode that's around like the development of Kane.
Oh, there has to be.
There's got to be.
Yeah.
Because that would be a great one to cover.
Yeah, because honestly, he was created as a heel, as I'm sure like The Undertaker was too. I think Kane, Undertaker, Undertaker's in the opening video thing, so I'm sure he's coming up. It's a great idea because it's always lost upon people the just how important the heel is.
Yeah,
you know, in the battle of good and evil in wrestling, you know,
it's a big deal.
Yeah.
You got to play it, and you got to play it right. I mean, not a horror movie, but a movie that I watched because I was talking to Steve.
Oh,
about just behind the Vice one, Dark Side of the Ring.
Yes,
so that's the other one.
Yeah,
and then again, always talking about The Wrestler, and then I have to bring it up. I even texted another friend of ours who I haven't talked to in a long time just to get his opinion.
Sure,
I was like, does Ready to Rumble stand the test of time?
Ooh.
Steve was a firm no.
Okay. I could see that.
So I had to watch it again.
Oh, you already watched it? I was going to say, I'd go back to that. But no, honestly, I'm not going to back to just to do it.
Yeah, it's not long. I mean,
Yeah. I had that on VHS. I got it for $6 at Blockbuster.
But there's definitely a lot of scenes in it that are very
yeah.
What is this? But overall, I mean, it's still it has the lines that'll still give you a couple chuckles.
Okay.
So.
All right. Hey.
Not the end of the world.
No. So yes, KeystoneRetro.com, especially if you're into the wrestling stuff, a lot of collectibles, fun stuff like that. KeystoneRetro.com. Check out code Red River, and we'll have Steve on soon. Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And unfortunately, no video this week. So if anybody out there wants to jump on and be part of our video crew, hit us up at redriverhorror@gmail.com. If you know us, you can text us. Obviously, there's ways to get a hold of us. But something that's still in the works. As much as we try, you can check out the most recent one is up on YouTube. And if you got any feedback, let us know. It's just a little tight because I'm gonna be on the road. You're gonna be on the road. So
yeah, we're both going to sunny Florida.
Yeah,
woohoo!
Getting the heat.
I think you for pleasure, me for business.
Yeah,
business and pleasure. No, that's fun. So we're going to be on the road, but we are not losing sight of the video portion. We just wanted to get that one up there for you. So if you check it out, subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the bell, as you should subscribe to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, but it's just simply called Unmasked. It was our 75th episode, and we decided to show my fat ass. Hey, and
oh man,
and Joe and a screen, and we watched. I did get some feedback from that from people who listened to the podcast, so we got to do a little more describing of the trailers we're watching.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah,
get a little more descriptive. Mm-hmm. So we just got to talk over them.
So to practice, and I didn't know. See, I would have thought, just coming from the world of radio, I would have thought talking over the content was a no-no.
Yeah.
People are like, no, you need to tell us what's going on. If we're listening to you, then what the hell? Like, like, right. Which brings us to today's podcast, Joe. Episode 76 or 77.
This is 77.
Oish, wow. Well, both you and I started noticing something. The more commercials, the more targeted video ads we got. Mm-hmm. It seems that Paramount Plus has quite the streaming collection for horror fans.
Yeah, they do. They got to come out swinging. So they, in Netflix had a lock on the streaming and then got challenged with Hulu. Mm-hmm. And then the third to the party that was trying to jump in there was CBS All Access. I think that's what they were calling it.
And that was that the first version of this? Okay.
Not too good.
Yeah.
So that Paramount Plus was a complete rebranding of that platform. Obviously, they're sinking a ton of money into it, with the Halo series, but also taking a lot of their horror catalog and throwing it on there, even bringing back. You got a new Paranormal Activity.
Yes.
On there now. You got the Scream franchises on there. You got a Quiet Place franchise. You got...
I guess, is that Viacom? Are they who owns this? So I'm thinking the brands. CBS, Paramount, like MTV. Oh, what else? But yeah, because I know that all the Jackass movies were on Paramount Plus.
Yep.
So I think that's Viacom.
Even the most recent one.
Yes.
So...
But that was the thing. So, thank God for Twitter.
Yeah.
They promoted. I'm like, who uses Twitter to actually promote things? Well, I'm scrolling on the Twitter feed, and boom, there's Scream, the newest Scream that I just paid money for to see in the theaters 2 weeks prior. It's just like, it's here on Paramount Plus, already. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So Paramount Plus has been playing, doing the right things that you got to do, I guess, to get your piece of the market share.
Yeah.
So exclusive South Park South Park specials. What they did, another SpongeBob movie that was part of the launch.
Oh, okay. Nickelodeon is a Viacom brand. Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see what else they do. What
Interessante. Well, there was something. Well, it came up. The reason. So we have this episode, this Paramount Plus focused episode, because you were going to watch the new Paranormal Activity because it popped up where? On Paramount Plus.
Paramount Plus.
How about that?
So yeah, I really wanted to check it out because, like I said to you, one of the things that ruins a lot of these they catch fire and they just make a new movie every year. So what's Paranormal Activity basically replaced Saw.
Yeah. As
the annual Halloween movie.
That's fair.
And both of them with the same thing where it just got, I don't know. I can't remember what the right word for it is, but it just got tired, cumbersome. It just...
Paranormal Activity was one of those, for me at least, just all we can do is being with Red River Horror, my opinion of the paranormals, liked the first one, liked the second one. The third one scared me, had some moments. By the fourth one, I'm like, oh yeah, this is happening.
Right.
Yeah.
It ran its course.
Yep.
And
so I hung in there for a while.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I love the first one. if you've heard me talk about the horror movies I like on this show, you know that Joe likes a slow burn.
Yes.
And that was a wonderful slow burn with a great finish.
Yeah, it did have a good
finish. It's got one of the best endings. It's great ending. So it's like, and then same thing with Saw, where it just year after year after year. And then when I went back for Saw, if you remember a year ago at this point, when I went back and gave the Saw franchise, because I stopped after 4 was the one where it's like, I don't get this. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
And so, all the ones in a row progressively get worse.
Yep.
And then they had a few years of a break. And then there's that Jigsaw movie.
Yes.
Which was really good. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm hoping for out of this Paranormal Activity, where it's like, there's been a break. They can, hopefully it's a better product than something that's like, all right, we got to have the next one ready for the following year.
Yes.
And now I'm looking in your eyes because you did watch it.
I did watch it. I watched the newest Paranormal Activity. It was on my list for a while. I
don't think you liked it.
We'll get into that.
Okay.
We'll get into that. We're going to watch the trailer here.
We'll start with that.
We'll start with the trailer, but this is just such a funny thing. This just gives you a window into how I consume media.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that my sister had Paramount Plus. She has it though through Amazon. So she has her Amazon thing. You know me, I don't have an Amazon account type thing, but she does. And sometimes when we rent some of the newer movies, it was through Amazon. Well, I'm like, Al, what the hell is this? And it was Paramount Plus. I'm like, huh?
That's my Paramount Plus.
Yeah. So I'm like, whoa. So I log in. Now, apparently people say if you're going to get Paramount Plus, don't do it through the Amazon app.
No.
Well, that's what it is. So I don't know if it's limited. Like, again, I don't know the interface of native Paramount Plus versus the interface of you having Paramount Plus through Amazon.
It's like an add-on to your Prime. So a lot of these, like Amazon does it where it's like you just add on the plugin, where it's like they're trying to make themselves the hub.
Right.
So even if you're not using their stuff, like, at least like they're the gateway.
So yeah, so I don't know. Paramount Plus may be a little more intuitive than Amazon's layout.
It's not. It's actually probably one of the worst layouts of all the streaming services.
Okay.
Because they all have to try and be somewhat unique. There was a lawsuit from, I think, Netflix to Xfinity.
Okay.
Where it's like when Xfinity started, like they redid their entire on-demand and it was identical to Netflix. And I think they didn't like that very much. But then I think part of the agreement was like then Netflix became a plugin through the Xfinity platform, which now they all are. But this is going back. But it's like why all the streaming services all try and do something different.
Right.
And Paramount Plus is just not really one of the better layouts. Same with HBO Max, not that great layout.
I only know it, so I know Paramount Plus through the Amazon app on my smart TV. I know HBO Max as the app on my smart TV, so I don't have the app it's not going through a Fire Stick or anything like that. So I don't know. I guess it's all on how you consume your media, but you would say the Paramount Plus lacking on the
yeah. There's just nothing. There's nothing special about it to be like, oh yeah. Whoa.
Okay.
Like Hulu's is flashy, but it's not that great. I don't know. They're all just. It is what it is. And that's like, you streaming stuff.
All right, Joe. So you asked me an important question. Did I like Paranormal Activity Next of Kin? Well, I just want to watch the trailer here first, as we're going to get used to. When we're talking about movies, we want to start watching these trailers.
So, yeah, I don't think it's like I don't have high expectations. I'm just hoping to like it.
Yeah.
I think that's fair, right?
Yes.
All right. So we got the trailer run.
Because I am about to meet my first biological relative.
Interesting.
Yep.
Got some Amish. Okay.
I am not Amish.
So now these Amish are up in New York.
Okay.
Not in PA.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
They're all over. PA, Ohio, New York. Even actually, there's a Mennonite community down by my parents in Florida.
Oh, wow.
It's one of the funniest things you'll see because they're allowed to ride on like buses and stuff.
Yes.
So like they'll like jump on the trolley.
What's her name?
Like their beach attire looks like it's out of like 1918, like fully clothed.
She lived here a long time ago. She's still here.
So,
What did you say?
whoa,
He's still here.
she's still here.
She's still here.
Yeah, so the girl's trying to...
Why would they build a church all the way back here?
She's like going back to her roots. Her mom is from an Amish community. Yep. Uh-huh. Yes. So now she's up in her room. This is very Paranormal Activity.
You got to have the night vision.
Yes.
He's from your mom?
Our main character.
Me and my baby?
Nope.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this already looks.
Yeah.
This looks really cool.
Family within a 50-mile area.
So, what could the Amish be? So, now she's crawling towards the camera. So, the premise is they're making a reality film in this Amish community.
Yeah, which is weird because they don't like being filmed.
Right. Well, and then that's a thing.
It's got to be.
That's, yeah.
Because it steals your soul or something. Oh! But there's more to it.
There's more to it. There's a fire. Old guy slamming. There's a two-headed goat we just saw. And now a pit to where?
I have to know.
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't. What are you doing?
Yep. She went down the pit.
I don't like that.
All right.
Hey! This looks great. I really wish I watched it before we recorded.
Well, I mean, you want to
And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, there's that break from the regular rotation and now just going...
Yes.
Oh, dude, that looks awesome.
It's so that's Paranormal Activity. Next of Kin. Now, if we go through the Paranormal Activities, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 was like called something, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah, I'll pull it up. I think it was the Paranormal Activity series.
Because there was like the marked ones and the ghost dimension and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think they actually like ended up going didn't even keep it in theaters at one point. I think the last before this one was direct.
Oh.
So Paranormal Activity, Paranormal Activity 2. So yeah, no, there was the break between the first Paranormal Activity and Paranormal Activity 2.
Yes.
So that's good. But then you had 2, 3, like all these in a row, 4, 5. So Paranormal Activity 2, Paranormal Activity 3, Paranormal Activity 4, Paranormal Activity, the marked ones, and Paranormal Activity, the Ghost Dimension. And that was the last one. That was in 2015.
Okay.
You know, give it 6 years.
And here we are.
Next of Kin.
Next of Kin.
Yeah, that looks great. Yeah.
All right. So I did watch it. Girl is making a film, so they're filmmakers. She is, I think she's in Arizona, and is visited by someone in her family from that compound, like on the Rumspringa or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
So I didn't mean to say whatever the hell, but you know. So anyway, she's now going to make a film about like trying to kind of unearth some of her mom's story, like because her mom is from.
Yeah, I'm sure like she's got to be curious.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is the story of her going back, and like you said, it doesn't go well at first. They're just like, oh, what the hell are they doing with the cameras and stuff like that? So there's a crew. It's her, what would be the director of the film, and I think 2 other people. There's a sound guy and somebody else that are a part of that crew. Did I like it? I did.
Yeah.
It's, for me though, it didn't have it just couldn't bring it home. You know?
Okay.
But the slow burn creepiness, like the visuals, very much, and it's important to note it has nothing to do with the other Paranormal Activities.
Which is great.
It's perfect. So she goes back and some creepy stuff starts happening. You saw the pit. She wants to go down it. Gets down there. There's something crawling at her. All that stuff. The 2-headed goat. All this. There's a lot of creepy visuals. A lot of slow burning moments. It's very atmospheric, I think. honestly, some of it is done, and maybe that's the point. For a found footage film, if you call it that, some of it toes the line between what could be found footage and cinematic. So I think that you'll like it. I don't know if I was that big of a fan of the payoff.
But you would recommend it?
I would, yeah. I think you have to watch it, especially if you did enjoy the Paranormal Activity films.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've seen... What was the one where it was basically like an ad for the Xbox Connect? Is that 3 or 4?
I think that was the 4th one.
Yeah, so I saw up to 4.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
and the second one, that girl, the daughter in the second Paranormal Activity, she's from Philadelphia. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. Yeah.
Delightful.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So anyway, Next of Kin, Paranormal Activity Next of Kin is on Paramount Plus, and it actually, because of the whole COVID thing, if I'm not mistaken, they just released that as part, when they were really pushing Paramount Plus for the first time, they said, hey, guess what? This is coming out exclusively on this platform. So, I mean, I'm sure you can watch it elsewhere now, but why would you want to if you have a Paramount Plus subscription?
Yeah. Which I don't. But... Or do I? No. Or do I share it? No, I share it. Oh. You know, all these goddamn things. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, Netflix is apparently reining that in.
Yeah, they're going to try. We'll see how well that works.
So MovieWeb actually put the best horror movies to stream on Paramount Plus. Letitia Joyner, and this was published.
So these are the best ones that you can check out on Paramount Plus right now?
Yes,
right now?
And number 7 just happens to be Paranormal Activity Next of Kin.
Yeah. And they're not in any order, right? I mean, it's just, here's the top 10 in no particular order.
I don't know. I don't know if they don't really specify if it's in an order or not.
Yeah, it is what it is.
All right, so Paranormal Activity Next of Kin. Yep, that Margot. All right, so I'll just give you this real quick because it's there's no spoilers because they want you to obviously click through and watch it. I'm sure they got some affiliate links there. So, Paranormal Activity franchise in itself is completely terrifying due to the realism of the filming techniques, the presence of supernatural entities, and the family backstory interconnected to the series of films. Paramount Plus successfully resurrected the franchise with Next of Kin, in which Margot travels to an Amish community along with the documentary film crew as she searches for answers about her mother. Abandoned by her mother as a newborn, Margot hopes to meet any of her existing relatives, but she's actually in for a rude awakening. So there you go.
Okay.
All right.
In.
Number 6, we're not going to watch on this program because we already saw on this program when it was coming out. Whenever the hell it came out. Anyway, A Quiet Place, Part 2.
Yeah, one of the films that got pushed back because of the pandy.
Yeah.
But
did you watch Quiet Place?
I didn't because I didn't feel that a sequel was necessary.
Okay.
So it's like, and I really liked the first one. I'm like, maybe I'll leave it alone.
Yeah.
But supposedly, Krasinski wants it to be a trilogy. So.
Oh, does he really?
Yeah. So maybe I'll leave it at once the third one's out, then I'll do it. But one of those things where it's like I don't want to push it because I like the first one.
Sure.
Enough that I don't want to watch the second one and hopefully be like, why?
Well, the next one, so that's number 6, right? Mm-hmm. So we're going new with Next of Kin, Paranormal Activity at 7, Quiet Place Part 2, 6. Ready for our first throwback?
Oh, yeah.
The Town That Dreaded Sundown.
I mean, so we've got the trailer pulled up for this, and I'm just looking at the screenshot, the screen grab. And I'm so mad that this isn't something that I haven't seen already.
I can't believe we weren't forced to watch this.
I feel like
this
checks all the boxes of something that we would have watched. Yep. I mean, we watched a lot of stuff.
Yes.
But this one does not ring a bell.
Right. So no,
and it had a remake in 2014.
And that's where my dad's just like, oh yeah, did you ever see the old one? I'm like, well, no, we would have seen it. We would have seen it in the basement.
Did you have it on beta or did you have it on VHS?
Right.
That's what it would come down to.
So luckily for us, the original is streaming. The Town That Dreaded Sundown, 1976, on Paramount Plus. Joe, now tell me, would you watch this.
So I'm just going to start just based on the mask, 100%.
Samuel P. Fuller, age 24. Samuel P. Fuller,
There he is.
age
There he is.
24. Linda Mae Jenkins, age 19. Brutally attacked March 3rd, 1946.
Is that the same voice of Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
29. Emma Lou Cook,
Could be.
17.
So
Bodies discovered in a wooded area on March 24th.
I like this 1946.
Yeah, right after the
Way
war.
back, yeah.
Both found
It's-
dead April 14th in Spring Lake Park.
It's a bunch of murders in spring of 46 so far.
Murdered in his home.
34. Why'd they murder that guy?
Twice, but survived. This man's identity is unknown.
So he's got like a
He was believed to be between 30 and 40
burlap
years
sack over his head with
Yep.
eye holes cut out.
and was known only as the Phantom Killer.
The Phantom Killer. You know what's really creepy about that? How it's like good choice on like having a guy with like blue eyes for that because they're like kind
Yeah.
of piercing through that. Really creepy.
Husbands reunited with their wives. It was a happy
Oh, they addressed the war thing.
Yeah. It was the best of times. It was the blurst of times.
So what the hell was this guy's problem?
4 months. He held an entire city in the icy grip of terror.
Uh-huh.
Now,
So it's like a Summer of Sam kind of thing,
incredible, shocking, and true story to the screen.
which I believe happened 2 years before this came out,
Dreaded Sunday, starring Academy
or the
Award
year
winner
before.
Johnson as Captain J.D. Morales of the Texas Rangers. We got a cold-blooded killer here.
Huh.
A man who nobody sees. A phantom who, so far, hasn't made any mistakes.
A phantom.
Crime, as Deputy Norman Rance of the Texarkana Sheriff's Department.
Texarkana.
It's a very forward trailer,
I was going to say.
like really describing who the characters are.
Yeah.
But look at this.
Yeah?
This is an aggressive serial like almost looks like Jason in a Friday Part 2.
Yep. Only he's
he's got a
fond of the
gun.
gun. Yeah.
The town that dreaded sundown. A true story.
A true story. Okay, we need to do
Yeah.
more homework on that and watch that and the remake. That's awesome. That looks really cool. And you know, one of the things with like why obviously, you know, we love slasher movies
Sure.
and this is right around the time when the slasher is making the comeback, but it's like why not have more guns? Like I was watching You're Next when it's like they're using like the crossbows and like the bow and arrows and stuff.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's like, are they doing that just so it's not loud? But it's just like for what their objective was, they could have just
blown everybody away.
gunned them down and left.
Yeah.
Like there was no need to drag it out.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, it's like we avoid because like I guess like the gun's just too easy. So that's why
Right.
it's usually avoided. But it's like with this, the way this looks, where it's like, you know, he's coming out at night and stalking people down and
Just killing them.
killing them. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just that like the realism of that's terrifying.
Yes.
Almost like, you know, like the DC sniper.
Oh, yeah.
remember
yeah,
that?
That was, yep.
Yeah. Like real life stuff like that's what scares the crap out of me.
Well, Town That Dreaded Sundown, 1976. It is available for you to watch on
Paramount Plus.
Yep.
And we will be watching it and discussing this more in detail.
Yeah, I wonder if we could do well, I guess since you've never seen it before, maybe we should just watch it instead of doing a live stream.
Yeah,
So-
I know.
so
we'll
you
just
can enjoy it.
watch it and then talk about it.
Yeah, and then you can give it a Boats rating. After you've seen the trailer, you're
Yeah, for sure.
excited. It may not live up to that for you.
It may not. So,
know?
hey, whoever wants to come watch The Town That Dreaded Sundown and talk about it, let us know.
So that brings us to
Let
the
you
next
in.
film, Paramount Plus right now, The Ruins.
Gotta watch The Ruins if you've never seen it.
Yes.
It was a surprisingly good time. Like, I really enjoyed that one.
Yep. Just for those, if you want a little teaser here as to why you should watch The Ruins, why you should give that your Friday night and your popcorn. Whenever there's a horror movie about vacations gone wrong, personal retreat planning can get a little terrifying. If any of you can relate, thank goodness. In search for endless fun during a holiday vacation in Mexico, Amy, Stacy, Jeff, and Eric are in store for more than they bargained for when visiting a remote area in the jungle. When animalistic vines attempt to entrap the group, each of them must fight to stay alive in the weird little nightmare of a film, The Ruins, on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, definitely check that one out. That one is it's a goodie. It's a goodie. I don't want to spoil anything. You know, it's fun. Has its cheesy moments.
Is that the girl from Donnie Darko in that movie?
In The Ruins?
Yeah.
Ooh, let's see.
Let me see. Yeah, The Ruins. 2008. Wow.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, well, we saw that. That was when we were still doing our weekday, Wednesday night 9:00 movies.
Oh, okay. Okay. Why do I think we saw that at Ian's house? Like when you lived there. Did you live there then? No. Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was living a few months later. I was like, we might have watched it. We might have rented the DVD and watched it too.
Huh. The Ruins. Interesting.
Definitely one to check out if you like the getting killed on vacation thing.
Yes.
Especially where they're at. It's a very popular tourist destination that, well, they go off. They don't want to go to the more popular one. It's just like, well, why doesn't anybody go to this one?
Yeah.
And they find out the hard way.
And people are like, whoa, don't go there.
Like, don't do it.
Don't go there.
Yeah. There's so much more to it. I don't even want to spoil it because that's like one of the best parts.
Okay.
So we leave that alone.
Moving on to...
We're checking out.
I Don't Want to Be Buried
in a Pet Cemetery.
Yeah, so right now on Paramount Plus, you can stream Pet Cemetery, not the newer one.
The OG.
The OG.
The OG with the Ramones.
Yes.
I don't want to live my life again.
Now, I think if I've told this story on the podcast before, I think I have, but I saw Pet Cemetery for the first time up the Poconos. You showed it to me. I did not see it previous to that. And the part that everybody talked about lived up to the hype. That creeped me out. I couldn't go near a bed again for a little while.
Yep.
And I was actually scared because it was literally just you and I.
Yep.
So I was pretty freaked out after watching it in the right environment.
Yeah. Again, with the slow burn. I mean, and it's one of those ones that now, because South Park parodies it a lot in the sense where they just have the one character who's like a farmer who does the down that road. So I think there's a lot of people who know that reference and don't know that it's from Pet Cemetery.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, down that road. Or sometimes dead is better.
Sometimes dead is better. All right, Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Another
on
classic.
Paramount Plus. Local Dr. Miles Bennell is in shock when his patients begin to come to him with the concern that their family and friends have been replaced with imposters who seem to give emotionless responses. As the truth behind these complaints rears its ugly head, Bennell, Becky, and his friend Jack soon realize that suspicions of his patients stem from an alien species taking over the town. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, simply one of the greatest movies ever made, and has a plot so conducive to allegory that it's been remade again and again. So this is the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers in film form and on Paramount Plus, which brings us to number one.
And both of these, before we even get to number one, I mean, both of these are ones that it's like if you want to see the classic, the classics,
yes,
you have to watch both of these.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're saying even Pet Cemetery before that?
No. The one that you're about to say.
Oh,
Invasion of the Body Snatchers in this. Pet Cemetery is just one of the better Stephen King.
I think so too.
It's
like more recently when the newer one was coming out, people were starting to crap on the original a lot. They were starting to say kind of poke chinks in its armor or whatever you say that.
You can try. I mean, the only thing that I can, if be forewarned is that it's slow.
Yes, it is slow.
It's very slow paced.
Plus, if you read the book or listen to the audiobook, I mean, that is a terrifying, sad story.
Yeah.
This Mary Lambert as the director of the Pet Sematary, the 1989 one, and I think they did it in a way that did make it scary.
I think so too.
Like, the book is scary for a whole nother reason. If you're talking about the loss of a child, if you're talking about, people and your family pet, like, different things are really heavy. Yeah, like, no, but like it's just heavy.
Yeah.
Mary Lambert brought it to the screen with Stephen King's teleplay. I think he wrote the screenplay, teleplay, whatever. No, not teleplays for TV.
Yeah.
He wrote the screenplay for it. She directed, and I think that it made the story horror scary as opposed to human scary.
Right. Yeah, they did for sure. It's sad.
All right, so you want to know what you can watch on Paramount Plus? That's a freaking classic. Mm-hmm. And if this is in ascending order or whatever, it would be the number one film. It's Rosemary's Baby.
Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah.
One of the films that set the standards for the next era of horror, like, the post Hitchcock horror.
Yep.
Rosemary's Baby.
It's scary. It took me, I honestly had to be older to appreciate to appreciate the nuance in that film, to appreciate the things that were happening that I didn't pick up on before. Before, to me, it was just a slow thing with not much of a payoff.
Yeah.
In a world that we grew up in.
It didn't age well. You just have to appreciate it for what it was for the time that it was released.
Oh, yeah. Well, when I watched it again, I appreciate I appreciate it on a whole nother level. It's apparently, though, Mia Farrow, Frank Sinatra, she was married to Frank Sinatra at the time. Mm-hmm. Apparently he didn't want her to do this film.
Interesting.
That's what I heard, yeah.
You're doll face, you're not doing any of these pictures.
Yeah. She
this low brow. Interesting.
So anyway, if you can watch that, so you can watch going from top to bottom, Rosemary's Baby, right? Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Pet Sematary, The Ruins, The Town That Dreaded Sundown, the original, Quiet Place Part 2, and the new Paranormal Activity movie Next of Kin. And that's just the list here. Thank you very much from MovieWeb, Letitia Joyner. But shoot, you can watch the new Scream.
Yep.
Which apparently the Scream 6 or whatever they're going to call it, that's going to come out in 2023. That's ready to rock. So I don't know if that's good or bad. We'll find out.
They're making moves.
So you have to still watch the 5th one.
Yep.
So we'll do that. But I just wanted to use this episode because I was quite surprised. Both you and I discovered this independent of each other. So I felt we should talk about it. The horror strength of Paramount Plus.
Paramount Plus, yeah. And it's been impressive, and I appreciate the competitiveness amongst the streamers right now to try and get you.
Yeah.
It's created some decent original content and get access to other things. It was still really interesting how Halloween Kills being on Peacock was always one that I thought
I can explain that.
It went to Peacock and then it went to HBO Max real quick.
So it's one thing that I don't know. I know you have, when it comes to the actual consumer side of film, leaps and bounds more than I do. Like how to just how to watch it, what actors have done what directors, you understand that side of it. The business side of it, the reason Halloween Kills was on Peacock as simultaneously with the theater was because Universal is owned by Comcast.
Right.
So just from a business side of it, you'll pick up on this. Just if you look at a property that you like, and let's just say it's they're going to finally release this Friday the 13th movie. Friday the 13th is New Line Cinema. Right. New Line Cinema is owned by Warner Brothers.
Right.
Warner Brothers has an exclusive deal with HBO. So you would be more likely, if they were going to do that in the time of non-COVID, release the new Friday the 13th film. If you put that all together, you would say, okay, so if this is coming out and they're going to do it on streaming and theater simultaneously, I'm just going to watch it because I have HBO Max. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So now that Halloween Kills is in its home video run. Yes, it came to, I saw HBO Max.
HBO Max.
Yeah. But Peacock is where you would have found it up to that point because the Universal being owned by.
Yeah, Peacock's we'll have to do a dig into all the streamers just to see who really has the best one. But I mean, there's a nice spread out there, and Paramount Plus jumping in on it really with some really good content for if you're in the heart. And of course, Jody from Different Take is always one to tell you, just like, if you want streaming and horror,
I know.
You're missing out if you're not doing Shudder.
I know.
And that's something where when we have the time, we'll do it. We'll do a Shudder binge.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I like if you're listening and you say, "Oh, is this a paid program for Paramount Plus?" No, I was quite shocked at their horror depth.
We just got a little curious.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's impressive.
Same with years ago, Vudu had that's Walmart's streaming service.
Yeah.
They had sent me an email, like the top things to watch in October on Vudu that were free with ads. So that's what I put an article out there on Red River Horror. I'm like, oh crap, these are some good movies. Yeah. And people are like, hey, did you get paid by Vudu to put that up there? I'm like, no. I said, but you can watch these for free. How cool is that?
It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah. So yeah, while the White Whale is Shudder, which I don't subscribe to yet, I don't think you do. We'll do a deep dive of Shudder, but I was just very impressed at Paramount Plus's offering.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Agreed. And we have to get in and watch The Town That Dreaded Sundown.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to watch Paranormal Activity next of kin.
Yeah, I think you should. Town That Dreaded Sundown, that might be one good one for the Poconos.
Dude, definitely.
Next time we're in the Poconos, because you might be able to do that by the fire, have the sheet hanging off the garage. For the outdoor movie experience. You get the fire, you get the s'mores, all that fun stuff. Yeah.
Gotta get the s'mores.
Coming up, man. But yeah, so but until then, you can enjoy some of this stuff.
Paramount Plus. Yeah, but if you think one's got something better, you got to let us know, because I'm curious if someone's just like, nah, I think that's a trash catalog. Obviously, you can tell me at Red River Joe.
yeah. It's like, really, dude?
Yeah. Paramount Plus?
And you have HBO, right? I'm not. Hey, I'm sure. Believe me, if I wish I was a bigger consumer of horror. I want to spend more time watching horror movies, but I have a limited amount of time. And
it's true, but that doesn't change the fact how much we enjoy.
Nope.
So it's all good. It's all good. You got anything else?
That's it, man. I just want you to follow us at Red River Horror on Instagram and Twitter. Sometimes we'll do that. Some of those hashtag games, Women in Horror Wednesday, Tony Todd Tuesday, all that fun stuff. Ideas at redriverhorror@gmail.com. Now you can also rate podcasts on Spotify. Ask you to follow us on Spotify. Give us a review there. And, of course, at Apple Podcasts, subscribe to this. And that's all I got, Joe.
Yeah, be a friend. Hit us up. Give us a rating. Let us know. If you want us to try and track down somebody for an interview, let us know. We'll go for it. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. But, hey, it's been a pleasure talking about Paramount Plus and their catalog. I tell you what. No, but definitely Paranormal Activity Next of Kin looks really good, and then I really want to watch The Town That Dreaded Sundown. I'm really mad I haven't seen that before. But yeah, overall, this has been episode number 77 of the Red River Horror Podcast. So you know what to do out there is remember to keep traveling those channels of fear.